You wake up before the sun, your back aches. It has ached every day for as long as you can remember. There is no rest today, there is never rest. Your fields are waiting and they do not care how tired you are. For most of human history, this was not your life. For roughly 290,000 years, your ancestors lived without a single field to tend. Then about 12,000 years ago, something changed. And historians used to call it progress, but was it? Picture the story you were taught. Humans were starving, wandering, desperate. Then someone planted a seed and civilization began. Farming saved us. That story is mostly wrong. And the evidence for why is sitting in your own skeleton. In 1968, anthropologist Richard Lee spent months living among the Jew/Hoansi people of the Kalahari Desert, one of the last hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. He expected to find people on the edge of starvation. He found the opposite. Lee calculated that the Jew/Hoansi worked an average of around 15 to 20 hours a week to feed themselves. The rest of their time went to rest, storytelling, and socializing. Anthropologists call this finding the original affluent society, the idea that hunter-gatherers were not poor at all. They simply needed less, and nature gave them enough. Compare that to a farmer in early agricultural societies. Skeletal remains from the Near East, where farming first took hold, show something startling. After agriculture began, average human height dropped, bone density dropped. Tooth decay increased sharply. Why would feeding yourself reliably make your body worse? Because farming did not mean more food. It meant the same handful of crops eaten every day in every season: wheat, barley, rice. Hunter-gatherers had 8 dozens of different wild plants and animals across a year, which gave their bodies a wide range of nutrients. Farmers had a narrow diet built around whatever grain grew best in their soil. A narrow diet has a name in nutrition science: low dietary diversity. And low dietary diversity, even today, is linked to deficiencies, stunted growth, and weaker immune systems. There is also the matter of disease. When humans started living in permanent settlements, surrounded by stored grain, they also surrounded themselves with rodents. And the animals they had just domesticated. Cattle, pigs, and chickens lived close to human homes for the first time in history. Bioarchaeologist Ann Stone and others have traced the origins of diseases like tuberculosis, measles, and influenza to this exact period. Animals passed diseases to humans they had never been exposed to before. Dense, settled populations let those diseases spread in ways that small, mobile bands never could. So if farming made people shorter, sicker, and busier, why did it spread across the entire planet? Here is the trap. Once you plant a field, you cannot easily leave it. A hunter-gatherer band could pack up and move to wherever food was abundant. A farmer was tied to a plot of land for an entire growing season, sometimes for life. Land you have invested in is land you defend, and land worth defending is land other people want to take. Anthropologist James Sussman, who has spent decades studying the Jew/Hoansi, argues that the shift to agriculture also created something hunter-gatherer societies rarely needed: surplus. A pile of stored grain is wealth. And wealth, once it exists, has to be guarded, counted, inherited, and fought over. Let's reconstruct what that actually looked like. Imagine you are one of the first farmers in the Fertile Crescent around 10,000 years ago. Your day starts at dawn. You till soil with a wooden hoe, your hands blister. Your spine bends forward for hours. By midday, your children are not playing. They are pulling weeds beside you, because a farming household needs every set of hands it can get. More hands meant more food security, so farming families had more children than hunter-gatherer families ever did. More children meant more mouths to feed, which meant more land needed, which meant more labor needed, which meant more children again. You are now locked inside a cycle that demands constant work just to stay even. Compare that to the band of foragers 2 valleys over. They wake when they are ready. They walk, gather, hunt, and returns. Their numbers stay small on purpose, because small groups move easily and the land supports only so many people. You can see the 2 paths diverging clearly now. One values flexibility and time. The other values output and survival through scale. And once farming villages grew large enough, they outcompeted foraging bands simply through numbers. More people meant more soldiers, more laborers, eventually more cities. Farming did not win because it made life better. It won because it could outreproduce and outorganize everything around it. This is the counterintuitive twist anthropologists like to point to. Agriculture was not chosen because it improved daily life. It spread because it created a population machine, and population machines beat smaller, freer, healthier groups almost every time. Archaeological sites confirm this pattern again and again. At Adalhoyuk, a 9,000-year-old settlement in modern-day Turkey. Excavated skeletons show signs of chronic joint disease, malnutrition, and crowding-related infections. Despite the site being one of the largest, most successful early farming communities in the world. Success in this case did not mean health, it meant scale. Now think about your own lives. You likely wake to an alarm, not your body's natural rhythm. You eat a smaller variety of foods than almost any forager ever did, pulled from a handful of crops grown at industrial scale. You work far more hours each week than the Jew/hoansi that Richard Lee studied in the Kalahari. And much of that work exists to service debts and obligations tied to land or shelter you do not fully own. You are, in a very real sense, still living downstream of that first agricultural trade-off. The grain economy your ancestors built 10,000 years ago never stopped running. It just got more efficient at hiding the bargain. None of this means agriculture was a mistake in any simple sense. It built everything you know: cities, writing, medicine, the device you are watching this on right now. But it built all of that by trading something quieter for it: time, variety. Rest measured in hours, not minutes. You wake up before the sun, your back aches. But this time you understand exactly why.